linked to the Knicks, according to Mark Stein. If New York can acquire Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz, reportedly, the Knicks would look to trade away Julius Randle and the 4 years remaining on his contract. Man, the intrigue around this just grows and grows. Shannon, where will Russ be playing opening night?
It's looking more and more like he's going to be in L.A. Opening night. Everyone around the league knows it's getting more and more comfortable, and we're going to see if we can extract more and more draft compensation. The agent laid it out. It seems like the Lakers will need to include more draft compensation if they want to move Russell Westbrook. This would be an all-time dumb trade. Skip, why would I trade Russ with 1 year left on his contract at $47 million to take Julius Randle back, who's going to have got 4 years at $117 million? Now, Julius Randle had a career year and a contract year, made the All-Star team, played extremely well, but his scoring went down 4 points. He shot a career worst 41% from the floor, and the 41% from three 2 years ago, he went back to the norm, what he normally is, a 31%. So why would I take that?
Well, you already had him once, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you decided to let him go.
Nah, and him and AD, no, I'm good. As much as I don't want to say this, it's becoming very, very obvious that the likelihood that Russ is in another uniform at the start of the season isn't very good. And it looks like the Lakers, and that, maybe that's why LeBron and AD and all these guys got on a three-way call and says, hey, we got to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Because I think they've come into the same conclusion that you come to from very early on, and I'm starting to come around to it. Russ is going to be a Laker.
You just had a hard time spitting those words out because it got painful. The more they came out, the worse it got, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a devastating notion to you to think, I got to put up with him for a whole nother year, because you know he's going to gum up the works of LeBron and AD.
Right.
We're going to talk about this in a few minutes, but one of the websites ranks the Lakers starting five 21st best.
Right.
Well, you got, LeBron and AD. Well, no, you're stuck with that.
And then the other two starters. And that, Skip, I can see, you know what? I'll say, you know what? Bring Russ back. He just had an off year. But he shot the ball like he's always shot it. He's as inefficient as he's always been. He's turned the ball over as much as he always has. So what makes me think that all of a sudden in year 15, you know what? Russ ain't going to turn the ball over. He's going to become a more efficient player. Who does that in year 15?
I told you, I have a long-time, highly valued and trusted NBA source whom I can't name, but he texted me at midseason. He said, you guys got to understand, this is the same guy who was playing with Durant all those years.
Yeah.
And Durant camouflaged a lot of this because he was so efficient. He was the flip side of Russ.
Right.
Because they in Oklahoma City, and they were obviously a deep enough that they had James for a while, and then they had Ibaka and Collison. They were pretty good.
Reggie Jackson.
And they could camouflage a lot of this because some of it is very good, but it undercuts a pretty good basketball team and makes them below average.
Right.
But a very good basketball team can still be pretty good.
Right.
If you can overcome the turnovers and all the missed threes.
But when you got Kevin Durant at his absolute apex, and you get Russ not turning the ball over and not being as inefficient as he is, now you got a championship contending team. Now you got a championship team.
You do. Okay.
But if you got an average team and you put Russ on it, you see what you're gonna get? 33 and 49.
33 and 49. In the end, the problem here is nobody wants that. They saw the tape last year. It's on tape. And it was clown show tape. It was cartoonish tape where it just got worse by the night, leading the league in turnovers until the last 3 games when he sat.
Right.
The dead last three-point shooter in the league, the 4th worst free throw shooter in the league. It's a devastating cocktail of awful.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It is.
In the end, you can't overcome it. LeBron had a great year 19, the best year 19 anybody's ever had, probably will ever have.
Right.
No, not enough. And when AD can't play enough, Now you definitely can't overcome number 0.
Correct.
Okay? So everybody saw that, and nobody wants it unless maybe Jeannie would give away what's left of her distant future, and she's not going to do it.
Yeah, I got to, Jenny, you might as well just go and hold on to it. It is what it is.
It just is what it is. And you don't want Julius Randle for 4 more years.
No, hell no.
It's insane. It from the frying pan into the fire.
But Skip, and you see what happens when, like I said, he was playing relaxed, not a whole lot of expectations. He put together that monster season. He goes to the NBA All-Star game, and now there's expectations in New York playing in the Garden. Can you imagine? Bro, you was here. Now, there were the expectations then that they would be now if he came back and played for the Lakers. Because everybody said, man, that's a young team. I mean, they just, man, once some young guys grow up, they're going to be something. You know, I think they had him and B.I. You know, they had a nice, but they were young. Nah.
I mean, Julius even got a national TV commercial where he's on the hood of a car that a guy's just bought.
Yeah.
I got a nick on my new, my used car.
Right.
Okay. So he got that. He earned that a year ago, but he didn't earn it last year.
Skip, he reverted back to what he probably is.
Yep.
He had a career year, and he got paid, and that's what I think a lot of teams are leery of that. Okay, is this the guy that's trending in this direction, or this guy had a career year and it will revert back to the mean or to the norm of what he's been his entire career?
Yeah. So here's the truth. I believe Russ will be in your starting lineup whether you like it or not, and I also believe that Russ better wake up to the fact that he is blessed to have this do-over opportunity, because he does have a 2-year deal. He's going to make $47 million, and I promise you, next year for the Los Angeles Lakers, as the starting point guard, he's going to be playing for his NBA life.
Yeah.
Because if he stinks it up the way he did last year, next year, if it goes from bad to worst again, he's going to play his way right out of this league. Nobody's going to want him.
Yeah.
They won't, because they just don't. Nobody, because he's going to think that he's worth, X million. He's worth the veterans minimum.
Right.
He's going to be next year the single most overpaid player in the history of this league, and it ain't even close. But he does have a purple and golden opportunity to go back out there and right some of the wrong. And he's got a new coach, a new sheriff, who's going to say, hey, I need you to do a little more of this and a little more of this. I need you to play a little bit of defense. I need you to stay out of the way on offense occasionally in the dunker spot. Will he do it? Or you're cutting against the grain of what he's made of. But can he show you that he will try to shape up a little bit before he gets shipped out to nowhere? Because another year like that, and if he hits the open market as a free agent, I promise you nobody's going to want to pay him.
It's simple. Russ is into fashion, so I'm sure he has mirrors around his house.
Yeah.
When he walks by one, you just look at the mirror and say, man, I played like trash last year. Just accept accountability that I did not play well. I need to play better. Stop blaming. It's not Frank Vogel's. It's not the fans that's yelling and screaming. And it's not that your fans they own you and you can't bring your family. Bruh, you